What's going on, guys? You're watching Sounds Good TV. My name is HYPHEN, and today I'm here to talk about the first Sounds Good event going down in downtown LA, June 30th at the Delphi Hotel. Right here with me is Omenihu.
Hey, what's good, y'all? How y'all feel? I'm excited.
Man, I'm excited too. Me and Omenihu, I feel like we were doing one of my wife's girls' events, and you pulled up, and that's how we first met. And I just remember seeing you in the cut, and you were just like observing it, and you were like, I'm trying to get some shit like this popping out here in LA, man. Trying to just scope the scene and figure this out. Like, what's the way to do this? What's the way to do this? And I was like, hey, man, whatever you need, this, whatever. And from there, we just kind of grew as friends, and now I see you got Please and Thank You.
Yeah.
You know, you got your music going.
Yep.
And that's what we're here to talk about today, because a lot of people don't know that you're a great musician.
You know what's funny is when I used to work at the marketing company I used to work at in 2018, I would see you on your longboard, and I would bike from my place in Echo Park to the Red Line, take the Red Line to I'll go to 6 and Metro, take the Expo line all the way to Bundy, in like in that area, and then I would bike down Expo all the way to Mar Vista,
Man,
Playa del Rey area, and it was
you
just
see me fall on my skateboard a couple times.
no. You would only go to that same stop. I'd be like, that's the one black guy I see on my trip.
That's crazy.
So the story goes back long.
Yeah.
That's long. And like, yeah, I think what's the most fascinating thing is how you communicate your story to people. And like, I realize I've always passively told my story. Because I think people are as perceptive as me. So I'm like, if I'm into something, I investigate it. People don't investigate.
Right.
Their thumbs are the biggest investigators. And it's
Yeah.
just like, so if you see me post a flyer, if you see me working out, you're like, oh, that's what he's on now. And they don't know the backdrop of it is all music, it's all hip hop.
Right.
And I have to take that on the chin and accept that you have to be overt about what you're communicating to people.
Right.
Like, I'm a big Easter eggs person. The world isn't. They want the eggs scrambled. they don't.
Right.
They don't.
I don't want to go find it.
Nah. So, like, I appreciate you hitting me up and like reaching out to me about the show, because, bro, like, since I moved to LA, 2018 officially, I probably performed less than 10 times in 6 years.
See, and that's exactly why I created this medium, because, you know, I'm also an artist and an event producer, and I see both sides of it.
Yep.
You know, just the pitfalls of trying to get booked, for the right event.
Yep.
You know, and just trying to get people out there, being your own promoter,
Yep.
all types of stuff, and it's just like, I never see the type of music that I am paying attention to and seeing that's bubbling
Well,
get the type of, you know, audience that it deserves.
facts.
You know,
Yeah.
so people like you is just, I wanted to provide that space just to let people know, like, man, my guy is killing it. It's right here in your own backyard, and there's no reason why this guy isn't a star.
Yeah,
You know,
and
let's run it up.
And you know, since moving out here, you realize stardom is so relative. You realize you could be an all-star in your niche, and that might be enough. And you just have to accept like the things it's gonna take to get to that height, like the sacrifices, the concessions you have to make to get to certain distances. So, you know, like, I was in London, I went to an art show, and I'm chilling with my homegirls, and a dude comes up to me, daps me up. He's like, "Yo, like, what's the next move?" I was like, I don't know. Like, I might go here, I might go there." He's like, "Also, I need to let you know, man, you're lazy and bougie." I'm like, "Fam, like, but regular people get uncomfortable by that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I gripped him up tight. Like, what do you mean? Like, let me know. He's like, bro, you make like what you do is dope, but you don't tell people, and then you don't like just put it in their face. Pause. But it's just like I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Um,
That brutal honesty to get you to kind of
to like be overt about it,
yeah.
be as overt about it as the person that cooks. They post their cooking shit every day.
Right.
We just live in a world where it's about channels.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm not mad about it. I gotta get active.
Right.
And that's what it's about.
So let's speak about London. I've seen you travel there a few times. What's the experience like, and what keeps bringing you back?
Well, there's two things. I'm a big soccer fan.
Right.
So my favorite club is Arsenal.
Hey man.
And like
in what is it, FC 24 right now. I'm on Arsenal. I'm making like 327 a week. You know?
Yeah. So it's just like I'm a big Arsenal fan, like bro, like, and this is for the first time in like 20 years. This is the closest we've been to winning. So I'm always gonna be there during that time until we win and it becomes regular.
What got you into being a fan of Arsenal?
Random story. I've played soccer all my life, just that and third. In America, like especially in like 06, the only like soccer players you know is like Brazilians, Wayne Rooney, the Mexicans, and the Americans.
Hey man, my cousin Freddie Adu though.
Yeah. So it's just like, so you knew the Americans.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw Thierry Henry play for the first time, it was France World Cup. France was playing the World Cup, same World Cup where Zidane headbutts the Italian guy.
Oh right.
And in that World Cup, I was like, yo, who's this black guy that's balling? I go to FIFA, he plays for Arsenal. I'm like, okay, I'm playing with Henry. And then the commentator says, the Gunners. And I was like, oh shit. My soccer team, my rec soccer team I played for was called the Gunners.
Fire.
So that happened, I was like, sold from there. So
that's
you didn't, yeah, that was like God body stuff. Like, right. So I've been in an abusive relationship with Arsenal since. So, but that's life, man. Like, and I've just doubled down on my commitment.
Got you.
But
so Arsenal, and then what else?
And then I have family out there. Like my mom's sister, one of her younger sisters lives out there. I have 3 cousins out there.
Nice.
And then you just realize that there's a certain vibe out there, like a certain like level of wittiness, of music consumption out there. Like people don't take music for granted out there.
That's one of the most apparent things that I've seen with every British act to come out. They seem like they went to school specifically to be a musical star.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's like out here, there's a lot of DIY.
Yep.
There was a lot of, like, when I was younger, band and being in music in general was shamed. Yeah. It was always looked at as geeky, and now we're older and you see how everything kind of intersects. Yep. And how if you had a certain type of teacher and you were taught to look at music for what is being put out commercially and not what was classical, because I feel like when you have a classical view of the music, you're like, oh man, I don't want to be Beethoven, I don't want to wear like this weird wig or whatever. Think about it like that. Even thinking about jazz, you're like, oh, that's so old school or whatever. But it's like, when you really get down and think about like who these people were, they're all like 20s for the most part. And there was the youth, and then there were the older people as well. But what was unique to them is that they weren't just creating music. They were bringing into who they were, and you could see like take Pharrell. Yeah. Neptune's, Chad Hugo, like on the surface when they're growing up, oh, these are the geeky, nerdy guys. Yeah, Nerd done made all the hits.
Yeah, exactly. And bro, it's just like people don't understand how much science is involved in music. As someone who writes the songs, writes the bars, my science is life, but I'm working with producers who are nerds
Right, exactly.
and like who understand the importance and the differences between this sound being at this volume. And it's just like people don't realize everyone just wants to be so fucking famous and instead of like important. Just like try to make something important to somebody.
Yeah.
And going over there, you don't feel that sense of like, I just want to be on. It's like they just want to be good.
Right. Refreshing.
But at the same time, they don't think that their perception of themselves is distorted just like ours.
Right.
Like I love being here, and it's like I don't think anything's better than where I'm at. I just understand the importance of unplugging and plugging in somewhere else.
So let's talk about your music. Over the past few years, I've seen you take a really deliberate focus on the visual aspect.
Yeah.
The colors, the way it's shot. What took you into this new like creative process, creative frame? And yeah, what can you tell us about that?
You know, it's funny because I think one of the most important things I ever shot is something I didn't release. Like it was right before COVID and stuff, and I kept holding on to it, and then COVID happened, and I just feel like part of my journey changed musically. But I give it all to my boy, my two homies, Mason Adams and my boy Josh Brunelli. They like really showed me what it was like, what it looked like, and how much effort it took to put into a good story.
Right.
And you shoot it. And from there, like it just tuned my brain into being into like more shot compositions, storyline motivations. And you're like, okay, like as I'm learning more about this, the importance of the quintessential music video is dying. So you're like, wait, what? Like, as I'm about to get my Kubrick on,
right, simultaneously.
I need to get my iPhone Cardi B on. And it's like, you start to realize everything, all the information we're exposed to happens to us visually first. It's not like the 1940s where it's like, oh, you just sit by the fucking speaker and the radio and you get your information. We get it from our thumbs and our eyes. So nothing that people showed me that like, yo, this song is hard, they're usually sending me a video.
Right.
It's only other music makers that send me
links to
the songs. And like there's no getting around it. It's not, the SoundCloud era is over where it was just the song and the pure love. You didn't know who the artist looked like.
Right.
But we're in an era where people want to see the character, they want to see the lifestyle, and they want the music to complement it. And I realized I'm in a good era for my strong suit. I just have to get out of my own way. Me and my roommate, Danny August, this is a tool. Like, bro, people think like even building up that rapport with somebody is just like, oh, they grab a camera and you have the song. No, bro.
Right.
That shit is just like the same way Chad and Pharrell has their partnership that's timeless. You got to build that up with whoever you tell visual stories with.
Right.
So I think now, like the way I even write music, I'm thinking about not the visual, I'm just thinking about what does this visually feel like? And that helps me like finish songs. Because I'm like, damn, what does this feel like? And what does it look like? And what type of feeling do people with their thumbs, what do I want to give them? So yeah, I'm really happy about just like practicing that visual aspect as much as the music now.
Right. What has been your favorite visual piece to kind of present so far?
Damn, I don't even have favorites because I don't think about this shit I make. I don't think about it in the sense of this child is better than this child.
Got you.
I just think I have kids.
Like, look at my babies.
You look at my babies, and like I'm not rooting for anything to be better than the next.
Got you.
But I think if I have to put a finger on something that was like top end, was just like, oh, this is dope. Like niggas ain't touching me with this. And like it's not about the engagement, it's just about the execution. The song that I have with my boy Mike Melano called Old. And like I got my homie Barry to star in it, who's an old dude.
Right.
I met him like selling my VCR. He was buying my VCR.
That's the alter ego, Sandy,
Yeah,
right?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. It was funny because people are like, oh, like, um, and like I'm gonna expound on that so much more soon. And I don't even know where to like exist, like so, because low key, I really want to be on some at night. You see me, don't talk to me on rapper shit. During the day, I'm smiles, but people won't understand that. But I might just do it and be like, no, that's like this the world I'm in.
Right.
And then like you gotta play characters, and like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm method acting.
Right.
So like I have music for that. I have music that people think I make under Omenihu, and I have some other shit that I'm gonna put out too. So it's just like, like we live in a social media era where if you're not posting, you're not moving in people's minds. And you just have to take that on the chin and like understand like the perception doesn't change the reality that you're putting in work.
Right.
But eventually your reality has to change perception. So that's life.
Facts. Let's take a break real quick. We got some delicious tea here from Stand Still. Got the bamboo oolong. So, pour you some right here.
Easy. I've been waiting. I've been staring at it.
There you go, man.
Oh, snap. Do you take it like a shot? Or you like...
Yeah, you can sip it, take it like a shot.
And I don't drink. I've never drank. So, like, this is the closest thing to me, like...
Shout out Stand Still.
Hey, shout out.
So, you did something really bold recently.
What?
You entered the happy birthday beef. There's a million versions out there. And my man, he just entered in. Can you tell us about that song?
Bro,
What made you
if I
wanna
tell
make
you
it?
about that song, you'd be so fucking surprised, man. So, the original, like, I started writing a part of that song in 2018. So I'm not gonna tell you which part, but it's just like, I started the song in 2018. I just like got hit with a certain feeling. I wrote the lyrics and went to my homegirl Jasmine Chen, and she has perfect pitch. So she heard my voice memo, started playing it on the keys, and she recorded me. And then she was just like, I can't help you get it over the line. So I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like this part's dope, but what am I supposed to do? Year after year, every time my birthday was coming up, I was like, okay, it's time to finish the song. It's time to finish the song. It's time to finish the song. And like my birthday is January, so it's like once December comes around, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna execute.
Right.
Nigga.
Crazy reminder.
Christmas happens. Nah. Okay, maybe next year. And then, bro, shout out to my boy OK Coop, one of my main producers, one of my favorite producers, and one of the greatest producers of all time, Oh Gosh Leotis.
Nice.
I was able to get everyone in the room, show them the song, and they started working on it one direction. I was like, but we need to go Jersey. I don't care what. And they're like, are you sure? I was like, dude. Like the Sith Lord meme, like to Anakin Skywalker, dude, like.
That part of the song, instantly, right when it got there, I was like, oh, let's go.
Yeah,
Oh, this is what we gotta do. This is what we gotta do, bro.
And like once again, like there's a new birthday song every day. Like Lotto's about to drop a birthday song. Like so, it's like the shit is timeless if you make it timeless. And I was just I'm more happy about just getting it out because it was a 6-year journey. A 5-year-long song, like bro, like it is what it is, and you realize music is art. Art doesn't get old. only your perception of it.
Right.
So I'm happy you asked me about that because like, bro, I've gotten different people involved on that song, and like the final version was just the right combination and the
Right.
right energy. So, bruh.
So, take me through your creative process when creating music. Do you ever produce anything?
You know, there's been different eras of my music career. Like obviously, just like everyone, I started rapping like on Ninth Wonder beats. Like in college, I was
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
like,
Shout out, nice.
and these bars sucked, didn't make any sense. But you move on, and you start listening to your people that are your age, people slightly older than you, and you're like, oh, okay, the Drakes, Big Sean's, the Kendricks. Big Sean was definitely one of my favorite artists back in the day.
Man, super duper.
Bruh, like,
When I saw that, I was like, oh,
yeah,
who's this guy?
facts. And then what more 2014, 2013, Chance, Travis.
Mm,
But now we're just in a different time where music is just made differently, it's made faster.
yeah.
Um, and you have to be ready to crank it out. And I think my process, I don't feel like I'm in monk mode where it's like, yo, I can write anything. But I do feel like, even like a couple days ago, it's just, I can go through my text messages with the intent to make music,
Mm,
find a beat that's been sent, click on it, load it up, and like come up with something important or come up with something that I think is fly. And I'm now at the point, it's just about execution.
mm,
It's like I'll start a song and it's more so about, oh, the song needs a guitar on it. I hit up my boy Henry.
mm.
Oh, it needs a bass line. Or it needs this type of singing on it. It's more about that.
Right.
Like I'm more like, I feel like Peyton Manning. Like it's like, okay, like we're about to get this touchdown, but how are we gonna do it?
Right.
Like, okay, like I need, the only way I want this to be done is if I get this person and that person together. So it's more,
Give me your go-to collaborators.
oh, okay. So like my main people right now is Henry Nowhere. He lives close to the airport. That's one of my main producers. What we've cooked up is different. It's just different. It's different. It's different. We don't even have a name for it. It's just different, and it's a departure from what people know me for. But on the hip hop side, like once again, my boy OK Coop, like, people, oh, niggas is underrated. No, I just think they're waiting to be appreciated. Also, Oh Gosh Leotis, another, once again, those two guys, I always say save me. It's like from a, like, I'm always grateful for whenever like they spend time with me and to cook up. Also, like my boy Mike Hector. Mike Hector is a dope artist. He works with some of the biggest artists, and he works with the most unknown. So
Right.
people only know him for DJing, but nah, like Mike is really a music maker, sound designer. And then also there's just people I like watching who inspire me, like Kalen Ellis. I see, like, having been in the close spaces with him, he's just a scientist. He'll tweak a snare till that shit turns into a clap,
Right.
and that's life. But even the people I haven't mentioned, like there's so many people that just affect how I perceive music, and it's just beautiful. So I think that's just producers that like even help me become a better writer, because it's like, okay, like how do they hear music? Okay, what pockets do I need to fill? Because I came in the game just like thinking about the lyrics. I
Right.
care about the lyrics, even on the most silliest shit. I'm like, yo, if I don't leave this with a bar, I'm not leaving.
Right.
I gotta, like, most people don't even try to bar up. Like, even on the most simplest of songs, you gotta bar up so I know that you're real. Bro, so you go back to two Chains, Players Circle. I don't, nothing I'm about. Like, obviously, I was in ninth grade when that shit came out, eighth grade or something. And it's like, that was when Wayne was at his hottest. Wayne is on the hook going crazy. But when 2 Chainz jumps on the track, I'm like, okay, he's spitting. You're like, let's just get back to the chorus. But when he hits the scheme with Thousands Island, Thousands Piling, that's that salad dressing called that Thousand Island. I was like, who is this?
Right.
Obviously, I didn't do my research. Google wasn't popping like that back
Titty
then.
Boy was going nuts.
But so whenever we found out at that time that was Titty Boy, aka Future, you go in the future, it's 2 Chainz. I'm like, I see why 2 Chainz is where he's at now, because even back then he was barring up.
Right.
So I think that shit is so important. How people write their songs, how they craft it, what angles they come at it, and like I take that so serious. No matter what genre I'm in, is like, what's the angle? Why are we here? It can't just be like, oh, we're lit.
Right.
Even if we're lit, like, why are we lit? So I think that's the stuff that makes songs special, and I'm always like striving to like get there.
Got you. Your creative process when you started versus now. How do you see yourself? What was your growth like? What were some of the pivotal moments?
Shit. I don't even know. Like my process back in the day, I was just happy to fucking like put 2 bars together. Like, and it would take me like weeks to like get a 16. Obviously, it could take a year for me to finish a 16 now, but not from a lack of skill. It's like more of my why. So like now it's like I could do the mumble and find it. I can do I'm not writing anything down. I'm just in front of the mic, barring up. I can also do the melodies. So it's just like I think my process back then was so fearful of this just being asked, and like kind of like getting booed out the studio.
Right.
But now it's like, bro, like
second nature.
It's second nature. And if the song's not for me, it's not for me. But it's like I'm gonna leave here with something. And like when I went to London, because of the process I have, we're leaving with a verse and a chorus.
Right.
Because that's
at least.
Yeah, at least. And with a good song concept. And that's just, I now move with some brevity, and it's just like I can now communicate with the producers like, oh, do that. Okay,
Right.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, it's night and day, but that took 10 years to even get to this level to still feel like a novice.
Right. Yeah. I feel like I'm going through the same thing where it's like you've been doing it for so long, but those moments where you take a break and come back to it, you know, you always come back a little stronger with a little more knowledge. But sometimes that can make you revert to being a blank canvas and trying to start fresh. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at in my career. It's just really trying to like revisit, re-own my skills and kind of build upon this.
You know, one thing, it's really about trusting your decisions. And when you're the sharpest, you don't second guess the decisions.
Right.
When your blade is dull, you're like, man, this ain't hard. This ain't. You have to confirm it with so many people.
Right.
Now it's like for me, I black out, put the headphones on, and I tell my roommate Danny to come in. I'm like, yo, let me play you something. And it's not for confirmation. It's just like more of a hold me accountable that this needs to be finished.
Right.
And then the next level is like this needs to be presented to people. And that's the part of the process that I need to indulge in more. The whole look at me, I make music. Oh, look at me, pre-save my song. Like as much as as much as I'm not moved by that behavior makes you to put out something and put out another one and push one and keep pushing it until it blows up. And I think confidence is the biggest key about everything, man. Like I'm realizing even in sports, when you see a player lose his confidence, it's cooked. That's it. That's the end of his prime. When the confidence is gone, it's out of here. And I think, especially with your own music, if you don't have confidence in what you're doing, the engineer, the producer can tell you, no, it's good. If you don't believe it,
It's cooked.
might as well like end the session, give the song away. Like, because if you don't believe it,
Right. What's the point?
what's the point? So like, I saw a video of Tory Lanez, and obviously Tory Lanez is in prison for his situation, but there was a video, super old footage, like Apple webcam footage of him like, this is how I do my melodies. You want to sound like me? Like really acting like he was that dude.
That dude, yeah.
I'm like, wow, this guy's delusional. But the delusion.
The delusion drives you.
So, yeah, man. Like I'm like, yo, if the people that suck, not saying Tory Lanez sucks, obviously, when he was peaking, you're like, wow, he's gotten better. You realize, wow, it just takes confidence to want to put in the work.
Right.
Oh, this is gonna work. Let me put in the work. Let me keep dribbling. Let me keep going. A lot of people who have way higher ceiling than me have quit.
Yeah.
It's not about the ceiling. It's about what
The gas you put in the tank to keep going.
And the foot on the pedal.
Exactly. Cedar Hills, Texas.
Cedar Hill, man.
How did growing up in Dallas shape you as a person, and how, when you're like in London, how does this kind of show up in who you are?
Bro, being from Dallas specifically, it's funny, people try to pull your card, like, you from Cedar Hill, that ain't Dallas. I'm like, that is Dallas County, my boy. We jump on the hot, like, so Cedar Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville is like a tri-city area that has created a lot of culture. Like, Young Nation's from that area, Duncanville.
Okay. Yeah.
The dude who went to my high school, Lil Ronnie, is from Cedar Hill. He made the song "Throw That Ass in a Circle." Like, and you played like, bro, like, so like Cedar Hill, like DeSoto, Duncanville, like, bro, we were jigging, like we were dancing, bro, like coming up. So many people wanted to be like Soulja Boy because like that whole style, that whole feeling was very Dallas. People thought Soulja Boy was from Dallas at a certain point because he would always check in. But I think like Cedar Hill, like just Dallas in general, like we don't like anything. Like we're haters. We're haters. So it's just like for your stuff to like be appreciated, it had to be that shit. It had to have some type of nuance to it. And like we kind of make timeless things, man. Like that music back then, you still listen to it today. You can listen to it today.
Right.
And you're like, damn, there's something genius about it. So I think most importantly, it's just like we weren't Houston, because Houston was known for Chopped and Screwed, DJ Screw, Chamillionaire, Swisher House, Little Flip, all that. Like our swag was still kind of different. There were Candy Paint, blah blah blah. But we were more out of calm down, like, and like that desire to be seen, that desire to show out has like been the reason why like Dallas is always cranking out like amazing talent. Houston still creates the stars because they have a better infrastructure, but like if your shit is hard in Dallas, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Like. You had to learn how to perform. I started becoming an artist in Austin when I went to college, but like that Dallas in me, that showmanship was always there. And then like you perform a lot in Austin, and then you take it anywhere, and you're like, yo, you're really talented. Yeah, because we had to get it. We had to get out the mud.
Right.
There was no industry over here.
Yeah.
So when you go overseas, it's just still once again a different swag. Like. I talk slow. I rap slow. I'm not trying to. No, that's not how we do it. That's not how we move, man. So that stuff is still affecting me to this day. And my only regret is like that I didn't double down on how Dallas and Southern I was until like now. I wish I wore it on my lapel more back in the day.
Yeah, I feel like when you make certain styles of music, if it's not like what the region is known for entirely, you feel kind of like
Outcast.
yeah, exactly.
No pun intended, but
But like Outkast, you're more of that place than you actually think you are.
facts. And like especially now the internet, like no one actually has to sound like where they're from.
Facts.
But I feel like it's so important to like
It is important. It's important to kind of wear your city on your sleeve so that they know,
yes,
they know that you're tapped in.
facts.
You're a product of this place. You know?
And so that you can inspire the next generation to be who they are.
Right.
Music's so globalized, like that people from fucking Mumbai can make drill music.
Right.
There's no problem with that, but do it in your language. Put your spin on it so that you can inspire the people behind you, the people from where you're from. You can tell that story because you can't tell my story.
Right.
You don't know it.
Right.
And I can't tell someone else's story. And that's why hip hop's important. And that's why you got to incorporate sounds that relate to you and the people that you represent. So, bro, like Dallas is such a place, man. Like, but I spent more time as an adult in Austin and even more time in LA.
Right.
But anytime I go back home and visit my family, and you start to realize, oh, this shit Dallas, the way
Right.
niggas be driving on hubcaps, driving on donuts, potholes, Harry Hunt, like, bro, you get sucked into it so fast.
Right.
You're like, oh, this stuff is never leaving me.
That's amazing. What is next for Omenihu?
Most importantly, what it needs to be is just like a massive expression of what I've been doing, and which is making music with my friends.
Right.
I think that's always been the most important part. It's like I want to make sure I enjoy the shit the time I'm spending with people in the room. And most of the times I can remember the sessions that I was like, oh, I remember if I'm making a song with somebody and not just a beat, I remember that day because it was probably a dope day that ended with a handshake or a hug. So I think most importantly, I think everyone says, oh, you just need to drop more. I think that's partly true, but it's like going even deeper in that visual world, not just like, oh, like here, listen to my song, but like take people on a journey and make it feel like fucking like HBO like type, and like that's one going back to the rollout we did for Old. It was like, oh, we took an old man, my boy Barry, and we kind of made him look like a playboy, and like we kind of followed that storyline, and like I think the final version of myself, views, no views, likes, no likes, comments or no comments, reposts, no reposts, every fucking day it's just like, damn, this nigga hasn't let up.
Yeah.
Whether it's a song I dropped 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 2 seconds ago, it's just pushing that shit because people don't pay for music. But also we don't have to pay to upload.
Right.
Like it doesn't cost me anything to let niggas know I'm doper than them. Or to inspire somebody to be dope.
Right.
It don't cost me a thing. So it's just like being diligent about the stuff I've made and putting it out and treating it like it's the best bread on earth. Like my favorite artists, that's how they moved. Jay-Z was like, bro, like Nas is dope, but what about mine? Like DMX is dope. What about mine? Ja Rule is dope, but bro, Jay-Z survived the hottest artist of all time. And he's always thought his shit was the hottest shit.
Right.
So I think it's important for me just to like, I don't know, just be infinitely expressive. And like I express myself in private a lot, but it's like publicly, be on people's phones. But musically, to answer that question, is just, man, I feel like what's a really diverse menu? I feel like
Diverse menu?
Yeah.
The first thing that popped in my head was like Cheesecake Factory, but I don't want to say that.
I haven't really ate at Cheesecake Factory, but let's say Cheesecake Factory. I could serve the cheesecake. I could serve the meal. I could serve the dessert, bro. And I think most importantly in my world building, I'm gonna give it to people. I'm gonna give them every aspect of it, and then you will decide what you like.
Got you.
That's facts.
Amazing. So sounds good. June 30th. What can the people expect?
You're about to see me knock off some rust in real time, man. I'm ready, man. I'm still rehearsing, like memorizing lyrics, because I've been in the fucking studio for 6 years on and off. I remember the first time I went to an open mic. I was in like this chemistry class. Not in chemistry. I was in an econ class, statistics, and I was like watching like how Eminem held his mic, Kanye, Jay-Z held their microphones just to go to open mic. I'm taking it back to that time, man. Like, bro, like I'm taking this shit serious, man. Like being on stage is a privilege.
Yeah.
And when you've been without it, you forget the other side of being a musician. It's not just being in the studio. So you're gonna see some hunger, but most importantly, like I'm just focused on not forgetting lyrics.
Right.
But you're gonna hear some good stuff.
Amazing.
Some unreleased stuff, some things that like people don't really like. It's gonna be dope.
Amazing. Well, it's been great talking with you, my guy. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah.
Sounds good. June 30th, downtown LA at the Delphi Hotel. We're going up.
It's your boy Omenihu.
Yes, sir.
You know, if I'm a part of it, you already know it's gonna sound good. So yeah, man.
Already.
Thank you.
Indeed.